meeting for the Village of Pulaski held at Pulaski Village Hall, 585 East Glenbrook Drive, Pulaski, Wisconsin. Could I have roll call and pledge?
Bruce Birchgusky.
Present.
Roger Birchgusky.
Present.
Robert Gajewski.
Here.
Doug Prentice.
Present.
Chris Smith.
Here.
Robert Van Lannen.
Here.
And Reed Woodward.
Here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like a motion to approve the agenda as presented and to include the wording as per amendment to agenda number 9, specifically to add the following wording to the agenda item. Information regarding the job impact of the project will be available at the time of the meeting as per Cush Blackwell LLP of Waukesha, Wisconsin.
So moved.
But, Bruce,
I'll second.
second by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, motion to open a public hearing. Petition for rezoning for property owner Quick Trip Incorporated, 1626 Oak Street, La Crosse, Wisconsin is the applicant. Jeff Osgood is here representing Quick Trip. A request to rezone a portion of parcel BP-438-107 from R5 multifamily residential district to B2 highway business. Part of Lot 1, Volume 18, CSN, page 142, map number 3354, 17,961 square foot area located on east side of Karts Drive, located on the southwest 1/4 of the northwest 1/4 of Section 5, Township 25 North, Range 19 East. The north lots are zoned B2 highway business, and the south side is zoned R5 multifamily residential district. Proposed use of the property is to gain access for a driveway to Karts Drive for the Quick Trip Incorporated. And the ordinance number is 562-18.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Doug makes a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Bob Gajewski, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are open. If there are any questions from the board members, I'd encourage them at this time.
I would imagine our Karch Drive wasn't really built to handle any semi-traffic at this point.
That is a truck road,
Oh, it is?
yes.
Okay.
The bulk of the property that was already zoned highway business. They want all this into one new parcel, and they wanted all of the parcel to have a B2 designation. So the property they purchased to get the right-of-way on Karts Drive could have remained R5, but they just want to clean it up and have the whole parcel as a B2 business.
So if that parcel remains multifamily or whatever it is now, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have any bearing on...
And Bill is the only one who can answer that. They really don't need to change the zoning to have a road or a driveway.
Right,
the access.
right, the access is separate.
Where the food and gas is now. So just north of this parcel
Correct.
is B2 already?
Yeah. The current mobile station is B2.
Okay. I would imagine the plot that that Sarah's Dance sits on is also B2?
Yes.
Okay.
We changed that to B2 from, it wasn't business until Sarah purchased from the Appleton Bank.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Well, I know a concern would definitely be our existing business that stands right there, and what kind of impact that would have on their business.
You know, you've got to be very honest and say there probably is going to be a notice of competition, a level of competition, and I think conceivably it could affect all of our existing stations.
Yeah.
But when you're right next door to them, that's going to be the most significant impact to the mobile station. I can't help but think that that's,
Yeah.
I have to say that.
I know each of our gas stations do have a very unique following. And I also know a lot of people that kind of bounce from gas station to gas station depending on where they are when they need their gas. But I know you've got your morning traffic that every day they're at the same place. And I don't think it's for convenience at that point necessarily. It's more about the relationship and everything else.
You know, and the gas stations that currently exist, they do have quite a loyal following. I get the majority of my gas from the Shell station, and I buy whenever I want to buy gas and get my car washed, I go to the mobile. So it's kind of I always fill my gas up before I wash my car.
Yep, yep.
Any other questions by the board? Jeff from Quick Trip is here. If you have any questions you want to direct at him.
Jeff, I know Seymour kind of went through the same process, and I talked to some people in there. What was your feedback from when you guys did Seymour? It's kind of same size as we have here in Pulaski.
As far as
Other stations, as far as negative response or?
the biggest thing that I see, I guess I'll start with, Quick Trip and the owners are not a family that looks and wants to put other businesses out of business, and that's not our goal. And if you knew the family, you would understand that pretty clearly with their background and religious beliefs and the whole works. And the one big thing that we've seen as a company is, a new gas station of our caliber, I guess, coming into town really does step up not only the gas station business and buildings and competition and their product and their offering for the community, as other businesses as well. We tend to keep our properties clean and up, kept up real nice. We do offer a lot of stuff. We do offer a lot of local products. If there's cheese or wine or any local products, meat that are from the area or we see a good fit for the community that they want to see here, we're always open to that. But the biggest takeaway is we typically do see, and the community see an uptick in quality and other businesses. I mean, I did do the Seymour store, but I don't know the dynamics of the negative impact. I don't get through Seymour very often, and we could definitely get you that information, but I know multiple stores in the Fox Valley that I've done. I've seen local gas stations do big additions and add food, which ultimately helps the growth of the community. And a lot of, I very rarely see a gas station next to us that goes out immediately or at any time. And I've been in Quick Trip for 5 years, but it all depends on how businesses react or
Okay,
how the dynamic is in the community too, and who's loyal and how
right,
much business and what side of the road you're on and the whole works.
okay.
Any other questions?
So really, this is just making that strip of B2 a little bit wider, coming a little bit further south on Karch Drive. It has nothing to do with, is that driveway going through or not? Is that correct? Am I hearing that correct?
Yes, they felt as they planned it out, and the state wouldn't give them a second driveway on 32, that they felt they had to have a safer way to get the automobile traffic not mixed with the truck traffic. Is that correct?
Yep. And that currently is the Sarah Dance studio driveway. I know that they plan to have a future development on the other part of their lot, because we're extending their utilities, both water and sewer, onto their property past that driveway. We are improving that driveway to all concrete.
Oh, wow.
And so that access will, is currently a commercial access and will continue to be. We're just improving it to accept an easier, safer route for Sarah's to access that and plan for future development of their site. And this site does have diesel, but it's not a truck stop. We don't see it by any means. I mean, it takes half hour, 35 minutes to fill up a semi if you're on empty. So you're not gonna have semi trucks rolling in and out of here, one after another, stacked up and sleeping at the lot and everything else, because we take care of that. So again, it's not a diesel location.
Is there any other questions by the board? Is there anybody in the audience which would like to address the board?
Yeah,
Can I have a motion to open the floor? Bob,
I'll second.
second by Bruce, all in favor?
Aye.
Sam?
I'm the one right now sitting there last 18 years, 17, 18 years. I'm the most affected when, we are very much next door to each other. Right now, the situation over there, we have 3 stores already in this town. It's a very small community. If they need to come, both one is, I think, is way over them. If they really needed something to be moved that, but they need to do something different way, you know what I mean? Right now, we have 2 business over there. That area is right now already messed up. And if a third one comes, and it's gonna be a more issue than now we have already. But I don't know how it's gonna be. They need to solve that. We are, door to door. And so I'm taxpayer too. Last 18 years, I'm sitting there helping to the community the way we can. But now, when Quick Trip can come over there, I don't think I can survive even, month to month even. So that's only I can. They need to really come there and they need to think something to move.
Sam, I've had several conversations with Sam. The judge and I met with him last week for over an hour. We understand your concerns. I've relayed our concerns to the Quick Trip people, and they said that they would consider looking at it, but, you know, we can't leverage anything, we can only suggest, we have. So, in a perfect world, I like looking at a perfect world, but I can't guarantee it. I can't.
I think Sam
You know,
does
that's a-
have,
That's a corporate decision. It has to be made in La Crosse, not here in Pulaski.
I do worry about the traffic there. Sam has 2 driveways. Dairy Queen's right there, Nancy Lane's right there. It gets a little confusing around that area, but we already have that driveway there for Sarah's Dance. I don't know if there's anything that we can do.
That's replacing Sarah's Road.
Right.
So,
I don't know if there's anything that we can do to help that issue, or,
I mean, really, that back access, I mean, our main access is off the state highway. Really is the ease of access for a couple delivery trucks a day, and then any truck that is using the diesel, whether it's a half-ton truck or a semi-truck.
this is not considered your main access point, the one up the highway.
No, really, again, just like Reed had said, just more of a safe route to, otherwise the diesel would have to circle all the way around and try to exit down on the state highway
Yeah.
and cross state highway at a non-common location. Our main common access point is gonna be on the state highway. And you know, there's gonna be cars that come in and out of there, people that live back there. Maybe, can't say that it's not gonna get used, but I don't see it as our main access point.
These truckers still have to swing around if they come from highway. They have to get out through the cut drive to the road. They can go back to the same entrance, you know, from 32. There's only one entrance from 32.
There's only one
There's
entrance.
not enough room to swing around.
Yeah,
Semis,
there's plenty of room for semis to come in off of 32.
but they come on, they need to get out to go, then they're going through.
That would be around the back of the store and back out if they
We
were,
got a main drive aisle for the vehicles to exit the diesel canopy and out around on the cart. Yep.
Can I have a motion to close the floor?
so moved.
By Doug?
I'll second it.
By Roger? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 4, a motion to close the public hearing, petition for rezoning property owning Quick Trip Incorporated, ordinance 562-18.
That was closing the floor, and now I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. I'll second.
Thank you. Motion to open, number 5, motion to open public hearing, resolution 1190-18, a resolution to increase the permit fees, applications for rezoning, CSM's conditional use, etc. That was part of your package. It was also part of your package at the committee of the whole. The document has just been finalized and approved and awaits your approval.
Well, I'll make a motion then to open that public hearing.
By Doug,
I'll second it.
second by Bruce, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is there any questions to the fee schedules that are part of your packet? I didn't catch anything that caught me.
Probably something we should have had a long time ago, make it easier for the building inspector and everybody
Yeah.
else
Yes.
involved.
Looks like it's really outdated, yeah.
Yeah, we're about 15 years behind
Mhm.
times, I think.
I'm glad that Tiffany had a chance to work with this as it was coming together too.
Yeah.
She'll be our main
Yeah.
contact for that.
And if you vote yes later on, this will go into effect tomorrow. Or as published.
Okay.
Like, that ball is really rolling, right? Any other questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion to close the floor.
Roger,
Second.
Chris is the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Close the public hearing, right? Okay. 7, to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of January 9th, 2018, and a special board meeting of January 16th, 2018. And dispense with the reading.
I would like to just make one note in the first paragraph here where it talks about people being here. They've got Gordy Black's name, his first name is spelled G-O-D-I.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that little typo.
Spelling.
Yeah. But with that,
109.
with that, I would make a motion to approve.
By Bob,
Second.
second by Doug. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 8, persons desiring to be heard. Persons desiring to be heard. Third time, persons desiring to be heard. Number 9, this is the amended resolution 1191-18, initial resolution regarding industrial development revenue bond financing for Baytech Games Incorporated project as per Hush Blackwell LLP, Waukesha, Wisconsin, and information regarding the job impact of the project will be available at the time of the meeting. And with that statement being said, Bill, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, this is for industrial development revenue bond. We haven't seen one of these in quite some time. They are essentially using the village as a pass-through to get a better rate on the bonds, and to also have portions of them, I don't know if they're all going to be exempt, but a portion of them would be exempt from tax. So they're looking at an amount not to exceed $5 million. That does not go against the village in any debt capacity, anything like that. It is simply using the village as a development vehicle to finance and fund this. They pay all the costs and fees that the village incurs, from publication to meetings to my fees for looking at the documents, the whole thing. They pay all of that. It's all part of the financing involved. There's obviously a lot more documentation to come. This is just the initial set of resolutions tonight to get the project started. To be honest, I don't know their complete time frame on this, but we'll have more information probably at the next meeting. But this is the initial resolution to authorize the village to be the conduit for this.
So there's nothing to do with the other bonding that we did?
No,
It's just total
absolutely.
separate?
Right.
Okay.
Right. There's more to it than this, that from the village's standpoint, that we can get into when we get further into it, but it does, my understanding is that the village's recent rating with the bond through Standard & Poor's may have a positive impact on this. It's not a be all or end all to all of this, but it does help. So there's benefits to doing those sorts of rating things, and there'll be some other things coming up along the way with this that will increase the village's ability to do this and continue to do this in the future.
as we were going through the process of doing the note that we wanted to sell bonds to help manage our debt, we felt it was prudent for the village to go after a bond rating, which we had never had done before. And with the help of Bill and all the work that Jody and Karen did to work with the bond people, we ended up with an A+ rating, which is just outstanding for a community our size. And to have no rating at all and end up with an A+ rating is, I think, tremendous.
Yeah, I just kind of alluded to a point, but I'll bring it up now. These type of projects come up under HUD regulations. They're for the background to all of this. I am the chairman of the Housing Authority in the city of Green Bay, and there's a project that's coming down. In fact, I have a meeting with Joan from the Pulaski Housing Authority later this week to talk about it. But HUD is going through a new review process that it starts with housing authorities. So HUD is Housing and Urban Development. It starts with housing authorities, but it's an analysis, a survey that's done. I don't know all the specifics of it yet, but it relates to both housing and urban development. And it's tied to, you have to go through this survey process to keep up your eligibility or your ratings for these kinds of bonding authorities to be able to be approved by HUD to allow you to do that. So I don't know what the cost of that's going to be yet, but you may see a request from the Pulaski Housing Authority for some financing to facilitate that study. Every housing authority in Brown County is being, including Brown County itself, because they have their own housing authority, they're all being asked to participate in this. And it's going to be based on population, so Pulaski's component to this won't be very big compared to the total. So, and I'm hoping to have more information before I meet with Joan later this week to talk about this as well. But they may need some financial assistance from the village to participate in that process, but it's to the village's benefit for things like this.
Bill, regarding the Baytech portion of this, am I understanding that if Baytech can demonstrate they're growing in a community that has a financially or sturdy or stable financial setting, just being able to show that gives them the upper hand in financing?
Yes,
Okay.
it has an impact on it. There are job creation things that come along with this, but the fact that they're growing is facilitating that. So that's a big component of these industrial development things. Like I said, it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we did a number of them for Carver over the years, and Marquis.
MCL as well.
MCL has done a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot of them, but we've done 2 or 3 of them with them over the years. So there have been a number of these. Karen probably still has the big black books in your office somewhere of these things when they get published. But yes, we've done a number of these. But you're right, that it does enhance. I don't know on that.
Okay.
And basically, it's a vehicle for Baytech to get a little better rate
Right.
than what they could.
Right. And again, it's the bonds will be tax exempt, which is what they're looking for, because then they'll sell better as a tax exempt bond than they will as a